Next piece. Some people have said I'm anti-government. That's not correct, nor is it the full picture. I've made several suggestions of solutions, not problems, on this show of how I think our governments should be run. I think it's still okay to have opinions on how to improve things, not just for we the people, but the politicians as well, although one does wonder after what took place this week. But it's safe to say, isn't it, that it hasn't been run properly in the past, or currently. 18 months to decide an investigation that was clear after the first 18 minutes or 18 hours. And I'm not just referring to America here either. I did a piece a few months back suggesting an assembly-style government, as I think by now most in the alternative community realise all of the past and current forms of government, be it Republican, Socialist, Communist, you name it, have all worked against us and the countries. And I'll repeat again for the hard of hearing, this is not, and I repeat, not the fault of the government itself. There's been many who have gone in with the right intentions, only to come up against the system and are faced with towing the line or facing the consequences of financial ruin, fake sexual allegations, or death in some cases. Hello, Clinton body count. There has to be a better way, and the only way we can change things is by us participating. We the people can help the government out by providing solutions to a better way of operating, rather than complaining about issues and apportioning all the blame for all our ills towards the government. All of us working together is the only way forward. It's not rocket science. I've said this before, and I'll say it again. Our whole species' existence is on the line currently. We have been written off as a failed experiment. We will not change that opinion with dick-swinging, warlike, divide-and-conquer mentality across the broad spectrum of life. We will fix it by working together, on-world and off-world and in-world. Well, I mentioned before about lessons in life, and there's some people ask me about my background, and maybe I should do a show, but it's more a case of woe than triumph, but it depends on your perspective. I've had a whole heap of shit thrown at me, virtually from the day I was born. Did I allow it to get me down? At times, yeah, but that's what the system wants. Two things about two of lessons in life that still perturb me to this day, because there's no easy answer. Well, there is, but it's an unpleasant one, and it's not who and what I am, as changing it would require me to change of who and what I am. Now, many of you have witnessed it, even with the late Cosmic Voice shows, and also in THI. And the two things are, I see and say things ahead of time. People ask me for advice and then do the opposite. Trust me, if I had $1 for every time throughout my life someone saying, Tommy said that last week, or last month, or last year, or many years ago, then I wouldn't need Patreon to keep me going. I could have retired by now. So the question is, do I not give advice? Do I not give my opinions? It's an interesting dilemma. But to me, the frustration is not about being proved right, but the damage it has caused people who never acted on it. And it bugs me no end, trust me. Now, I'm sure there is a lesson in there somewhere, but keeping quiet to me is not an option. Now, the second thing that has gone right through my life is people who should have loved me, didn't, and or badly let me down. And people I put full trust in didn't retain it also. If I go into any situation in life that appeals to me, I put 100% trust and loyalty into the relationship, business, radio show, or people in general that I choose to engage. I give out lots in terms of loyalty and trust to the many people I have helped privately and publicly, But way too often in life, in my life, people so easily forget what you've done for them and turn nasty on you on a dime and subsequently sell you out. So the question from this aspect and lesson to be learned is no clearer to me than the first question. Is the solution to not help people as they only shit on you at a later date? Where is the lesson in that? This is why I've said you cannot do this role I am in and be anywhere near 50% service to self. There are just way too many kicks in the teeth from people who should know and do better. In essence, it is a full-on sacrifice of your own feelings of hurt, pain and frustration in aiding others. But it shouldn't be that way. I've been told by quite a few people I'm too nice. My reply to a recent person who told me that was, so that justifies someone taking a piss or not treating me right because I'm too nice. Again, I ask, should life be that way? A world where nice people are shat on and service to self people prosper? Is that the world we really want? Because if it is, we are really wasting our time doing any of this. Me personally, I would sooner be accused of being too nice than too nasty. But maybe I have to find a better balance between being too nice and standing my ground and looking after myself, as it appears too often others won't. The main person this week did look after me, much to the chagrin of others. Now, some days for me personally are tougher than others. Like I said, I've gone through quite a number of letdowns in life. But I thought it was time to relay one that happened 5 years ago to me last week. 1 month after I ended my marriage, where I was never violent, physically or verbally. I never took drugs or was an alcoholic. A marriage where I was faithful for 32 years, all of it. My ex-wife and eldest son concocted a story right out of a politician's rule book of lies, lies and more lies, some of which were beyond heinous, all to get me locked up under the Baker Act. One of the accusations was that Cosmic Voice, where I was at the time, I'd just started, was a cult, and I was part of a plot with them to steal my grandchildren and run off with them. The judge the ex-wife gave the details to bought it, despite never having spoken to me and heard my side of things. I was arrested in my own home by cops who wouldn't even tell me why I was being arrested. A wife of 32 years and an eldest son of 32, so not a child, engaged in a plot to get me certified so they can claim the marital assets or get back at me for having the audacity of ending an increasingly unhappy, for me, relationship. I was told after an hour by the adjudicating social worker I didn't belong in there, but was kept at the family's request for 5 days. 4 doctors told the wife and the eldest son there was nothing wrong with him, and yet the son demanded, and bizarrely the staff agreed, to put me on psychotic drugs. The doctor who came round to give me them drugs got taught a new asshole by me. I said to him, "You shook my hand this morning and told me I was going home, and I shouldn't have been in here, and now you're giving me them drugs. Do me a favour, mate, because you can stick them where the sun don't shine, because I'm not turning into a zombie like the rest in here." His reply was, "Just take them and you'll get out quicker." No, I will not be taking anything. Now fuck off and go and find the details of your own position's role where you allow a non-qualified person to dictate to you who should have drugs or not, because you clearly have wasted your education on the job you do. Please show me in your manual where it says an unqualified person, in this case my eldest son, tells you to administer drugs against your own judgment. He disappeared, I never took a single drug in that place. Apparently I'm the only one ever to walk in and out of that place and not take a single drug. Now this episode would rightly tip most people over the edge, but after the initial shock of it all, I realised this is what they want me to do. It is clear now, maybe I was flagged up on the old looking glass tech as a potential problem to the system, like a glitch in the matrix. Who knows? So I decided I will get out of there and bounce back stronger. I did and have done. And this is what we all have to do in times of turmoil. Put up a collective middle finger to the all who do you wrong and say,